Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Luxemaka, the flawed mom. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So in this video, I want to show you how I make buns. Like, these are really soft buns, guys. So I usually have flour, like your normal and very important ingredient. So it's also important to have some yeast. So for me, guys, I don't want to lie, I'm not good with measurements. So I just pour until the ancestors say, no, my child, this is enough. So I usually mix like yeast, milk and sugar, then cover that up so that I let it ferment. So this trick for me actually helps with the process to become faster. Then with my flour, I add some salt. Then from there, I just mix everything. Now I do that while I'm waiting for the yeast to ferment, right? So for me, it's much faster to do that so that I can, like, my dough can actually rise quicker. Then from my flour, I add some margarine and I mix that up. So obviously, with the ingredients, again, as I have mentioned, it's up to you guys. You know how you want your stuff to be. So you will know each and every ingredient, what they help with. So it will be up to you how you actually want, how soft you want it, and also how hard you want the buns. So once my mixer has fermented, I add that to the dry ingredients. Then on the side, I whisk some egg, mix it with a little bit of milk, then I add into that. So if I'm making buns, guys, so there's always a difference to me, actually. I'm not perfect in baking, but if I want my buns to be soft or my bread to be soft, then I don't use water. So I'd rather go with like a room temperature milk. Then if I'm making bread, like normal bread, then I would mix with a little bit of water, or I will not even add milk sometimes. So it's up to you. So I go in there, I knead the dough. So yes, I learned this term few years back, guys. I'm not good in English, but at least I know that one. You need your dough over, ne? So I'm one person. If if I'm kneading my dough, I will make sure. Trust me, I will make sure, guys. Ndizokwenza sure, guys, ndizokwenza sure that I need that dough. Then ndiyayixova and izodibana. I'm one person who believes that if you're kneading the dough, then you don't have to have like the dough in your hands, like sticky in your hands. So you need to make sure for it to be softer, you need to make sure that you knead it to a point that it doesn't stick to your hands anymore. So that's what I do. And I will make sure, guys, I'll make sure. Kongathi la gender xa seyixova inhliziyo zethu, but ke asikho lapho anyway. So I will make sure that I knead that dough to a point where even if I take it with my both hands, like my hands are clean. So that's what I do. And sometimes I even make sure that even the dish that I'm using to knead that dough is like clean. All that dough is like stuck together. So that's what I do. And I don't care if it takes me long, but after that, I will cover my dough and make sure that I put it in a place where there is actually heat. And yes, you can see here, it has a reason. It looks nice. That can tell you now that, okay, it's much softer. It was not done actually, because sometimes it will rise to a point that it actually, the whole dish is full, right? So now what I will do here again, I will take it back. I'll just knead it again, take it back. Then once I have done that, I will just portion it, right? So that I can just make balls and put it in my pan. So I roll those nicely. For greasing my pan, I use the non-stick pan. It like always works for me. But okay, here's the disadvantage that I had. So the pen that I'm using is small, guys. My relocation was just a mess. So yes, I think I left the bigger pan and took a small one, which I thought belonged to me. I don't know which one belonged to me because I had my own pan. And when I moved into the apartment I was staying in, there was another one which came with the stove. So yeah, I don't know which one is mine, but this one is just small, guys. So, and at this point, I felt, okay, my dough is too much. These balls are too much for this pan because they're still going to rise. But anyway, we just wanted to achieve what we wanted to achieve. And had I knew, I would have just made a bread out of this. And also, but it told me that, okay, next time, given that I don't have another pen, unless I would have bought another pen, then I'll have to make a smaller dough, so that I can actually portion it nicely. So as you can see now, these the dough has risen again on the pan, so I just brush it with milk. I prefer that. So some people would prefer to brush it with eggs. So, but for me, if I'm making dough buns, I prefer to brush with eggs. But if it's scones, then with milk, I mean. But if it's scones, then I would brush with eggs. So it's up to you. And if you're someone who likes flour, guys, with me, I like flour. If there's flour, then I'm happy. I will do everything and anything. So now it's time to take them into the oven. So yes, I'm using a gas stove, guys. So the issues of load shedding when it comes to cooking and baking doesn't affect me. So as you can see now, I have already taken them out, but the challenge was that the crust was a bit hard, and this is because I almost forgot them, guys. But the inside was still as soft as I wanted them, as you can see. Can you see? Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video.